Now we are going to bring to you this position we have. The issue of P2B and AZIKIWE begin now.
He took his final examination a year ahead of his class. He also married Mrs. Carol Smith, whom he met while they were both at Oxford University. Together they went to Nigeria, where they had their 2 children. Mr. Carol Smith, you were featured in a program recently by BBC Radio 4,
yes.
Titled Document,
yes.
And that was hosted by Mr. Mike Thompson.
Yes.
You were alleged that the British government rigged the first and most important election in the history of Nigeria in 1959 in favor of the North. Am I correct?
Yes.
How long were you in Nigeria for?
From 1955 to 1960. And we were based in Lagos. I was on the staff of the Department of Labour. I was largely occupied with employment problems, all the employment exchanges, and statistics, and international reports, and was kept pretty busy.
One thing I want you all to pay attention is the fact that the election in Nigeria was rigged by the British. He said it too. I did not say it. The election in Nigeria was rigged by the British, according to this man. Okay? According to this man, was rigged by the British. Because AZIKIWE want to cover his corruption so that he will not go to jail. They told him to go and align. He went, the United Kingdom told him, go and form alliance with Fulanese. Destroy the unity in the South for their own benefit. And AZIKIWE did it. The same thing this Obi is doing today. The same thing this Obi is doing today is exactly what AZIKIWE did. You see that? P2B visit UK Prime Minister. After that, he joined political party. Now let us listen.
Stationed in Lagos in charge of the capital and the port. I was the port labour officer as well. And I also devised a port labour scheme and later a social security scheme, which was one of the first in Africa, which guaranteed workers some income after they'd finished work. It was a providence scheme. As I say, it was called the National Providence Scheme, and I was very proud to have put that on the statute book.
I was going to ask you what your role is. You've mentioned 3 important. Is there any particular name given to your office while you were there?
Just labour officer.
I was a labour officer, a senior civil servant.
Okay.
Did you hear that? He was labour officer. Labour officer in Nigeria. While they connive with Fulani, they threatened AZIKIWE to betray southern Nigeria. That if you do not form a coalition with Fulani, they are going to jail him. So he was in Nigeria as a labour officer. Labour officer. After how many years of this scam and fraud and evil agreement of AZIKIWE, they have come today again to tell you about Labour Party. Labour Party. A labour officer was part of the scam of coalition, AZIKIWE coalition with Northern Fulani. Today, they are again fronting Labour Party. We don't learn. We are no longer stupid. I want you to connect the dots. It was Labour Party during Ziki, it was Labour officers, Labour. Today, they have come back and they are going to use P2B to do exact thing they use AZIKIWE to do. So that after 50 years, your children will be raining abuses on you. How some of you were alive and allow P2B to be used against your own freedom. Well, you know, we are not going to give the opportunity for that particular history to come. So that history will never come. It will never, ever happen. The history that we are making today is that we stopped any Biafran from contesting election in Nigeria in 2023. And we stopped election from taking place in Biafra territory. And that led to the breakup of Nigeria. That is the history we are creating today. I am telling you the fact. Write it down somewhere. The history we will never allow to repeat itself is the history of AZIKIWE getting threatened by the British to go and form alliance against his own will because he is a corrupt man. Listen.
Actually, government wouldn't let me leave the civil service. Primarily this was because I had access to state secrets. I learned, and the Governor-General himself confirmed this to me, that the elections were rigged, contrived. The intention was that the North should rule Nigeria. Even in '56, the Northern leaders were very proud and were saying, if they couldn't run Nigeria, never mind elections. They might not join Nigeria. They might leave. And we all thought, well, how would they survive? There were no industries. There's not a great deal of agriculture, some groundnuts in the north. This wasn't very practical at all. And then it was, the Governor-General seemed to be thinking that the North couldn't, even if it won an election, rule Nigeria by itself. The South wouldn't stand for that. So there had to be a partner, either the Igbos in the east or the Yoruba in the west, to team up with the North. What he didn't want was for the two southern parties, the Igbo and the Yoruba, to team up to form the government, because he believed the North wouldn't tolerate that and talked about leaving the federation. So as I learned, in a small way at first, but very rapidly I learned about the election fixing, and as I say, this was confirmed to me by the Governor-General. He actually said that he wanted me to know the truth because he wanted me to know how much trouble I was in.
You mentioned statistics you were collecting.
Even him himself was in trouble. The British man was confessing that even he himself, as far back as then, in Nigeria as a labor officer, was in trouble. He was in trouble. So they have to convince Zik. What I am telling you today is a very, very important thing. And the quote is that we will never allow P2B to repeat the mistake of Nnamdi Azikiwe. Watch.
Figures. Is that for labor and unemployed people only, or general?
Primarily, but obviously my interest was in the population
of
generally.
Nigeria.
Yes, and Awolowo, the Yoruba leader of the action group,
yep,
and Chief Enaharo, they too, other people were saying, where are all these millions of people in the north? Where are they? We're going up there to campaign. We want to know, you know. And you see all these, you know, thousands of miles of not very developed countryside, and yet the northerners are claiming that their voting registration figures are larger than in the south, larger, far more people up there. Well, actually, if you went through the Igbo land, Enugu and that, you saw lots and lots of people. If you went to Ibadan, again, Ibadan teeming, with millions of people. But we didn't actually see many northerners, and obviously not many northerners at that time came to Lagos. So this did arouse suspicion. Now, the Europeans, not stupid, we are watching what's going on in Nigeria, and we too are beginning to feel there's something not quite right here, that maybe the elections are not going to be as straightforward as they're meant to be. Nigeria was being described as the showcase of democracy, and it was expected that the nationalist leaders would win through. But actually, when the election results were announced by the Governor-General, before the vote was even in, he didn't count for that, he didn't wait for that. I have to tell you, the British were counting the votes, and the British cannot be trusted. They look after their friends. Loyalty is the big thing for the British. And we were friends with the emirs of the north. We looked on people like Inaharo and Awolowo as rather dangerous people. They might even be communists. That's ridiculous, actually. They couldn't be communists in 1,000 years. But this was a sort of thing that was being said. And we were, Europeans, were getting a bit worried about all this. It wasn't quite the honest, straightforward election that we were hoping for.
Apart from Professor Anderson and Dr. Patrick Wilmot that supported your submission on the rigged election,
the thing I want you to understand is that during the time of AZIKIWE, the similarity, during the time of AZIKIWE, it was same Labour Party. It was same Labour. This man you see here talking was a Labour officer. They are the one who worked underground job to make sure that AZIKIWE, who is a corrupt person, who was a corrupt politician, who had financial issues, they used him because he was corrupt. They say, if you do not go and join the Fulanis, we will open your corruption case and you will go to jail. So Zik sold out. Because Zik don't want to go to prison, that is why we are suffering today. Because Zik don't want to go to prison, that is why the hatred between us and Yoruba, you see it, which we have corrected today. At least the Yoruba people will know that we did not support what Zik did. At least ODUDUWA people have come to know we never supported Zik and can never support Zik. So I want you to look at the similarity. One is Labour Party. Obi now visited the Boris Johnson office, and as you can see, P2B visit UK Prime Minister's residence. After that, he was advised to now abandon PDP and join Labour. The same Labour, the same criminality of Labour, the same Labour. These are the people who tells you that they are Labour. These are the people who want to tell you that they are Labour. They want to tell you how important they are. They want to tell you how Labour is going to save you. They want to tell you Labour, they are criminals. As far back as then, they supported fraudulent AZIKIWE. They supported corruption. They supported corrupt AZIKIWE. They know that AZIKIWE is corrupt. They tell AZIKIWE, this is your corruption, we are not going to investigate it. You are going to just sell your people to Fulanis, and then you will not go to jail. And they were parading Zik. The same thing, coming from the same person today, is P2B. The same people, the same place, the same Zik, the same P2B. Ask yourself, why is this history trying to repeat itself? If not for us, the history will repeat right before your very, very own eyes. Do you see? Some history. Labour Party. Labour, who they say, oh, they are for people who are working. Labour supported fraud. Labour supported fraud. They have come again to support another fraud of P2B. P2B have committed crimes. P2B have offshore companies, offshore account. P2B have $15 million in offshore account against Nigerian law while he was a governor. He didn't deny it. He said he was advised. All this corruption, the United Kingdom know it very well. So P2B is doing business. He has business in the United Kingdom. Nobody know what he has done. That they are trying to pardon him by making sure that he dragged Biafra into election next year. We are not going to allow that to happen. Position has become necessary. But what I will repeat and continue to repeat until this broadcast end is that we, the Biafra of today, will never allow the mistake of AZIKIWE to repeat itself again. Never. And that is exactly what Obi is coming to do in a different way. Now let us continue.
Now, if you recall what you said about the role of the Governor General and the attitude of the British government in particular, regarding the fear that Awolowo, Okotie-Eboh, and the lot of them from the south are dangerous, is there a particular reason? Why the fear from the British government? Is it that they don't want to release or relinquish Nigeria? They still want to control Nigeria?
They knew that the North would do as they said after independence. If it happened.
Did you hear that? This man said the reason why the British favor the North and want AZIKIWE to form alliance with the North is because North will always do what they say. Are you hearing me? North will always do what they say. Because if the alliances would have been Southern alliances, we are more educated, we are more wise, we are brave. I told you that they had agreement and this Fulani was part of the shareholder of the Niger Royal Company. They were giving them money. They were giving them money. They were giving them money. Do you understand it? They were giving them money. Now, you have had it. The reason why they favored Fulani was because Fulani will always do what they say. That is the result today. Let us go there.
We were disgusted. We thought this really had been manipulated, this election. It was unworthy. It was unworthy of the British people, this. This was no honest, straightforward thing that you would expect Britain, the mother of parliaments, to do. This was cheap and low and criminal. And I opposed it. And I opposed it then, and I've opposed it ever since. And I'm telling you the truth. And I was warned, if I told you this state secret, my life could be forfeit.
Earlier on, you said the British government wanted the North in alliance with either of the southern region, either with the Yorubas or with the Igbos.
But Awolowo,
without which they cannot
they can't do it this
rule the country.
The problem was that Awolowo was a highly principled man.
Okay.
You didn't talk to Awolowo about squalid deals and fixing things. Awolowo.
Did you hear that? Awolowo was a very principled man. They could not approach Awolowo. They could not approach Awolowo to strike a deal. But you see today, all these criminals are the one abusing Yoruba people. All these criminals. All these criminals in Biafra. All the criminals in Biafra abuse Yoruba people of betraying. They abuse Yoruba of betraying. This happened before the war. Zik is not a principled man. Zik was corrupt. And the British know the level of corruption of Zik. They approached him. And of course, they didn't miscalculate. They did not miscalculate. Zik failed. Ego, money. Money. The same thing Peter Obi is doing today. Peter Obi is telling you money. How money is everything. How he don't joke with money. How he spend wisely. How he do this, how he do that. How he invested Anambra money. How he has a $15 million in offshore account. How his family know him. How his family always invite him and come. I hope you are not going to spend our money. I hope this election you are going into, you are not going to spend our own money. He's bragging about it. Everything is money. They did not approach Awolowo. They know Awolowo is a principled man. Yoruba, today, the same Fulani deceived you to call Yoruba's betrayer. But it was Zik that betrayed the Yoruba. We are correcting it. We have corrected it. Today, we have corrected it. You open your mouth every day to abuse Yoruba people. Igbo, you are an animal. Because what Yoruba is or have done to you before, your Zik started it. Peter Obi brother started it. Zik. The something is repeating today. Peter Obi, your brother started it. The people that are destroying this struggle, also the same thing happening. The people that betray Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the same thing. Money. Those fighting against Biafra struggle, the same thing. Peter Obi brothers. AZIKIWE brothers. The same thing. Money. AZIKIWE, you are going to hear the story yourself. You see, I don't want you to feel, that, okay, this is it. No. If you are a Biafran today and you are genuine, you are exempted from this particular attack this evening. Completely exempted. You are a Biafran. Somebody say, he respects me, but if I have other topic to talk other than Peter Obi, why should we have other topic to talk? Do you not understand? You don't understand what it means that Igbo man is contesting a president in Nigeria. Igbo man, a Biafra man is contesting a president. Why we are searching for Biafra? You are telling me if there is any other topic. What topic is more than that? What topic is more than how to stop Peter Obi from even climbing one step? You are telling me is there another topic? This is the most important topic. And it is very important topic because we are going to stop your mega rally in Biafra. That is how important this topic is. The Biafra people who don't want to go to Nigeria election have to be educated to enlighten them. Why must you sit at home when Peter Obi is coming to do rally? You need to just tell them why. You don't just come and tell people, okay, let us support Biafra. Everybody knows why Biafra is going to come. But then, if you must sit at home whenever Peter Obi or Tinubu or Atiku say they want to have rally in Biafra land, tell them the reason. Tell the Biafra people the reason why you are ordering people to sit at home. Tell Biafra people the reason why we can never support any election in Nigeria. That is what we are doing. Somebody is talking about another topic. What topic we can talk about? We hear that they want to organize a rally, a mega rally on the 20th. And we have others sit at home. And Biafra are going to come. We need to tell the Biafra why we are not going to allow people to breathe. And you are telling me we should talk about another topic. Which other topic is more important than that? Now, I want you, all of you that always go to Yoruba people and abuse them. You are a fool. Don't abuse Yoruba. Because your AZIKIWE betrayed the Yorubas. It was Igbo man that betrayed Yoruba AZIKIWE. And that is why we are calling a spade a spade. He doesn't represent us. That is not who we are. Zik is a corrupt person and is a corrupt person. Today, the people in the struggle are also corrupt. That is why they are working with Soludo to kill their own commanders. But that was then. It is no longer possible again. And they deceive you to call Yoruba people betrayer. Did you know this one? Any of you that open your mouth again and abuse Yoruba, God will punish you. Because before Awolowo betrayed Ojoko, Zik betrayed Awolowo. Zik betrayed the Yoruba people. And you don't know that history. Do you? No, you don't. Now let us listen to it.
Awolowo was not that kind of person. If you read his books, this man was a world statesman. And his young lieutenant, Chief Enaharo, was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. However, and for most Europeans who were very close and watching this, we were disgusted. We thought this really had been manipulated, this election. It was unworthy. It was unworthy of the British people, this. This was no honest, straightforward thing that you would expect Britain, the mother of parliaments, to do. This was cheap and low and criminal. And I opposed it. And I opposed it then, and I've opposed it ever since. And I'm telling you the truth. And I was warned, if I told you this state secret, my life could be forfeit.
Earlier on, you said the British government wanted the North in alliance with either of the southern region, either with the Yorubas or with the Igbos.
But
without which they cannot
they can't do this
rule the country.
The problem was that Awolowo was a highly principled man.
Okay.
You didn't talk to Awolowo about squalid deals and fixing things. Awolowo was not that kind of person. If you read his books, this man was a world statesman. And his young lieutenant, Chief Enaharo, was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. However, they did do a deal with Zik, Dr. AZIKIWE,
okay,
from the East. Dr. AZIKIWE, there was this big problem in Nigeria. It's the same big problem in America and in Britain. How do you get funds to fight elections? The candidates in Nigeria had no money, but they did have marketing boards, which were a kind of semi-nationalized industry. And they borrowed money from the marketing boards. But there was a suspicion that Dr. AZIKIWE, who had formed his...
You see, as we move forward in this whole Biafra next year, it is good to, keep the record very straight. Somebody commented here that before that Awolowo betrayal cost 3 million lives. And let me tell you, it doesn't matter the consequences of Awolowo betrayal. What matters is who betrayed first. That is what matters. Who betrayed first? Before AZIKIWE betrayed Awolowo, AZIKIWE won election in Yoruba land. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that election in Yoruba land, that they won election in Yoruba land? Yoruba voted Igbo in their own land. They won election. Igbo people won election in Yoruba land. Are you aware of that? They did not even vote Awolowo. Yoruba people didn't vote Awolowo. So Fulani gave you all this false history that Yorubas are betrayer, and everybody is opening mouth. Yoruba is a betrayer. Yoruba is a betrayer. So that you continue to open the wound that your Zik caused to Yoruba people. And it was the tactics of the Fulani until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu began to align with Yoruba. And let me tell you people, you know when this whole, what you don't know is bigger than you. Do you know when this Yoruba alliance started? Do you know? You don't know. Yoruba alliance started when we joined the struggle. Let me give you a little secret. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that Yoruba alliance with Biafra today, with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, started when we joined the COVID-19 as they call us? Are you aware of that? Are you going to doubt that it is not true? Are you going to say it is a lie? Alliance of Yoruba and Biafra started when we joined the struggle. Do you know how that happened? You don't know. You don't know. Ask yourself, while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was with these idiots and criminals, they never facilitated to solve the problem between us and the Yoruba. It was when COVID-19 people joined the struggle that will become alliance. You don't know how it happened. We didn't stop there. Today, we are building alliances everywhere. Everywhere. Because that is the vision of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That they couldn't allow him. They couldn't allow him to do it. Behind their back, we solved the problem of ODUDUWA and Biafra. Why they have been with him for many years, behind these criminals' back, we solved the problem of ODUDUWA and Biafra. I am giving you some direction today. But this is what you don't know. That is why we have always said, what you don't know is bigger than you. We and ODUDUWA have come to be one brother. Those betrayals and betraying of AZIKIWE, we have wiped them out. Before this whole thing started, do you remember when I will always come to program and tell you, do not attack Yoruba, do not call Yoruba people's name, don't insult Yoruba people? Do you remember? All of you have forgotten because you still have a Fulani cow in your head. All of you have forgotten. You have forgotten when we come to program and say, don't insult Yoruba. You have forgotten when we come to program and tell you, don't call Yoruba people names. You've forgotten. When underground work was going on, when we do underground work, you see the result physically. Not underground work of that you can't see it anywhere. So I want you to check yourself. Check yourself. Check it. When did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu begin to talk about Yoruba people? And when we formed alliance, it was because we came to the struggle with our genuine heart. No, this is just continue now. So just give you a tip of the iceberg. What we have done in the secret. So I want you to understand that the narrative must be changed. Yorubas did not betray you, the Igbos. It was AZIKIWE with his corruption betrayed Yoruba. And today, they are using P2B money. And the ironic part of this whole thing is that they are coming from these same people. Not all of them. Anambra, they are great people. In Biafra, we don't. In Biafra, I was an Anambra man. I was an Anambra. So everybody is from Anambra. When you are from the old Enugu state, Ebonyi state and all that, you are an Anambra man. We are all the same. And in Biafra, as this agitation is concerned, nobody is Anambra. We are all Biafrans. But just if we go back to the root, the fundamental problem of the Igbos, it is coming from this Anambra, which is I was part of it. And that is what Fulani wants you to be saying. Divide and rule. We have destroyed it. Nobody can come in between us again. Not possible. Not while you are in, not while you have Biafra in you. Maybe as a Nigerian, you can be talking of Anambra and Imo, but not a Biafra struggle. In Biafra struggle, what we are is we are Biafrans. When Biafra come, we are going to know which province you come from, as the case may be. So let us listen.
But there was a suspicion that Dr. AZIKIWE, who had formed his own bank, the African Continental Bank, was actually bankrupt. But he was borrowing very large sums of money from the marketing boards and not necessarily repaying the loans.
He was borrowing money from the bank that was bankrupt, and he was not repaying the money. It is money, 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 the root of all evil. The same thing P2B is doing today. I want you people to understand this history. P2B is borrowing money from the bank, using the $15 million in offshore account to service the loan. Same thing AZIKIWE did is what P2B have been doing. I do not know when they say history repeats itself. Okay? P2B is borrowing money from the bank. He has $15 million in offshore account. He used that $15 million to service the debt of the borrowing. The same thing they are telling you that AZIKIWE did that put him in trouble, that made the British to tell him to betray Yoruba people. Today, P2B is not betraying Yoruba. P2B is not betraying Hausa. P2B is betraying Biafra. That is the only difference. And we are not going to allow, because our brain is hot. That is why this particular analysis today is deep. Do you understand? P2B is not going to betray Yoruba. P2B is not going to betray Fulani. P2B is going to betray Biafra. And for him to have accepted, went to this particular meeting in the United Kingdom, to come back and start shouting Labour Party is already the betrayer of Biafra people. Okay, let us finish this particular exposition before we go into what P2B said.
We knew this. We had a great secret service. All the politicians' phones were tapped. All the politicians' mail was opened. Everything that any major politician did in Nigeria, we knew in hours. We watched. We knew all that was going on.
Are you saying, in essence, that Dr. AZIKIWE took money?
He was blackmailed by the British to do our bidding. We told Dr. AZIKIWE that he could go to prison if an inquiry was carried out into his bank and his financial circumstances. However,
did you hear that? That AZIKIWE was blackmailed, threatened, that he would go to prison if an inquiry were opened into his banks and financial transactions. He would go to prison. The same thing is happening with P2B. P2B have had a very big controversy in the Pandora paper. P2B boasted how he was raising £1 million in overdraft or whatever, back as 19, whatever. Peter Obi boasted how he was doing this and doing that. Peter Obi boasted how he invested Anambra State money, and that money was invested in the bank, which he was the director. You can't invest money, state money in a bank, you are a director. So a lot of questionable transactions is hanging on Peter Obi. The same thing, the same problem. So they must have told Peter Obi, you know, if we begin to go into your Pandora paper, if we begin to go into this offshore company, your $15 million there, if we begin to go into your businesses, you know that you have done something, even though you have been paying tax. Because he told you he was paying tax, he never owed tax in the United Kingdom, he is raising £1 million overdraft. Yeah, you know, that does not mean you are not into shady deals. So they told him, you know, Biafra is now gathering momentum. The arrest or the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't solve the problem we wanted, we were believing that it could have solved. That is why British kept mute about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It was not the way they were approaching it in 2016, 2015, 2017, is the way they're approaching it now. They are now being partial to save their economy. We are going to deal with them. I am telling you the fact. British left European Union. The European Union never trusted them. They are cheaters. British, they are cheaters. They taught us fraud and scam. They taught, you see how this man is confessing how they brought election rigging in Nigeria. They rig election. They come to Nigeria, manipulate everything. They taught us how to be criminals. And I'm not missing my word. I am telling you the fact. So, what deal did P2B have with them that made him to now come for Biafra? Instead of Biafra will come and contest. Let us drag you. Let us drag Biafra to this election. 4 years is a very big number. Do you know what they are going to achieve in 4 years? Delaying Biafra for 4 years is a very big achievement. And we can never allow them to do that. I am telling you, to delay Biafra from getting freedom from Nigeria in the next 4 years is big achievement for Britain. This is Britain that to leave EU within 2 years or 3 years of that when they started it. They left. Let me go again ahead to play the audio, to play the video.
Dr. AZIKIWE has nothing in common with the northern politicians. He loathed the northern politicians. But Dr. AZIKIWE went north and did as he was told. And what he was promised was this. The real power, effective power, would be in the hands of the northern emirs. However, it would look great if the president was Dr. AZIKIWE and he was given a field marshal's uniform and an admiral's uniform.
Did you hear that? AZIKIWE have nothing in common with the North, but he was instructed to go to the North so that he will not go to prison. The same thing Peter Obi is doing today. Peter Obi even understands that we, the Biafra people, have nothing in common with Nigeria. We have nothing in common. Peter Obi know that Nigeria have treated us with the highest disdain. Yet, Peter Obi knows that the structure of Nigeria, where Kanu have over 40 representatives at the National Assembly, is incongruous, that we can never be compatible. Peter Obi knows all these things, but yet he accepted to play the script of Britain. The same thing AZIKIWE did. AZIKIWE knows he has nothing to do with Fulani, yet he accepted to go, betraying Yoruba people, betray the entire southern Nigeria, betrayed everybody, and go to North for greed, selfish greed, for self-greed. Greed That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have preached about. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say, those of you 100 men, that is not greed. That is not jealous. That is pure. What you see happening today, Peter Obi, is greed. Greed to protect his own interest, protect his own business, protect his own whatever he is doing. Only God knows what they have told him while he visited this particular place. Only God knows. We are going to read the report, but let us listen.
He asked, please, could he have a row of medals? But they said, well, no, that was a bit difficult, to get the medals. So when the ambassadors started arriving, he was known to be asking people from foreign countries, perhaps they had a medal for his uniform. We thought this was terrible, but it was said that this happened. He was very vain. And for a time, he functioned as first the Governor General, and then when Nigeria became a republic, as the president. But he had no power. And when he did try to tell the army, he said, I'm the field marshal, the army has got to do with this. They said, hey, you're just a ceremonial figure. You have no power. The Prime Minister, Balewa, gives us our orders. So there was a feeling then that there was going to be trouble. And then it was because the Awolowo and the Action Group had become the official opposition. What we British wondered.
Did you hear that? They told Zik, they are going to make you this and make you that, and they want to try to show his power. They told him, you have no power. You can't order us to do anything. Tafawa Balewa, the Fulani man, is the prime minister, and he have the power to control us. There, Zik know that he has misfired. Zik know that he has fucked up. Big time. He become a ceremonial, whatever they call him. Ceremonial. I think he was the only ceremonial. After Zik ceremonial, there were never any other ceremonial in Nigeria. Did you hear of any other ceremonial in Nigeria? I want to ask you a question. Go to the history of Nigeria. After Zik ceremonial, whatever, is there any other person in the history of Nigeria that was given a position, and the position was ceremonial? I am asking you. Is there anybody? Answer me. Answer me. Zik was so desperate, just like Peter Obi. Nobody else was attached to the ceremony to his title. AZIKIWE was ceremonial. He sold the southern Nigeria, betrayed Yoruba people, betrayed Awolowo to become a ceremonial nonsense. After him, nobody was, addressed as a ceremonial. Somebody said Osibajo. Hi, look at woman. Somebody say Osibajo is a ceremonial. No, Osibajo is not a ceremonial. Osibajo is not a ceremonial. Osibajo is not a ceremonial. AZIKIWE is a ceremonial. Osibajo is not a ceremonial, please. Oh my God. So, today, have Igbo people stopped betraying? The criminals stopped betraying? The answer is no. But we have bigger in number those that will not betray Biafra. They are in the autopilot IPOB. And millions of Biafrans that are still standing by to wait what is going on. They will not betray. Those criminals, we have chased them away. And if you continue, you see, they are going to be making noise until you hear them no more. Until Biafra come. I am telling you the fact. All this noise you see is what they are going to be making until we are going to Biafra. Just watch and see. Mark my word. But you know, when Biafra come now, they will, all of them will jump out. We are the one in charge. We are the one who did it. We are the one who did it. The world will know who activities under whose watch Biafra will come. You are going to watch it. And I am going to continue to be the disciple as he is coming out very soon. Believe me. Oga, you may have nanya. Now let us continue.
How could we win another election without the British counting the votes? There could not be another proper run election without us there. We knew what we were doing. We were just helping things along. You know, we were doing what the British do, favouring our friends and looking after our own and repaying favours. We don't call that corruption.
Right. I mean, in essence, what Dr. AZIKIWE did, it was forced by the British government to do it.
Yes.
Collecting money from the marketing board then.
Yes.
So if any politician here in the United Kingdom tried to do that,
be in jail.
He will be in jail. So why did the British government?
Did you hear that? British government forced AZIKIWE to be collecting money. Collecting money. The same thing the Nigerian government is doing to all these politicians in the southeast. If they want position, they make them collect money. They allow them to loot the money, and they will be waiting for them. Anything they do, they are coming after them. Once they do PIM, they come after them. Britain taught Fulani how to use money to hold Ndigbo. That is why P2B is jumping from pillar to pole. But we are going to tell him that the generation of Ndigbo that we are part of are not their type. We are not the money monger Ndigbo. Of course, you have them in the struggle that we have destroyed them. We have destroyed them. Now they are following Soludo. And Soludo exposed them. They are running helter-skelter. They gave AZIKIWE opportunity to collect money so that they will use it to indict him. The time came. They told him, this money you collect, we are going to put you to prison. Go and align with Fulani. And AZIKIWE, as a criminal he was. Because he's a criminal. Anybody that is fraudulent is a criminal. Before now, all of you were praising Zik. Zik of Africa. Zik of this. Zik of that. But little did you know the history of Zik. You didn't know. You didn't know how Zik put you in this problem today. Until now. Until now. The same people, the same way they are shouting Obi. Obedient. Somebody Obi. You don't know what Obi has done. You don't know what Obi discussed with the 10 Downing Street. You don't know what Obi discussed with Boris Johnson. When Obi was there to meet Boris Johnson was still the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Today, he resigned. After Obi visiting him, he resigned. Did you ask yourself, why did Boris Johnson resign as Prime Minister of Britain? He resigned. So can we ask Boris Johnson, now that he's no longer a minister, a Prime Minister of Britain, what did you discuss with P2B? Which agreement did you reach with P2B? You do understand? You will not know that. Let us go to read the report. After P2B visited the United Kingdom to replicate AZIKIWE, I want us to go and read so that your eyes will open. Obi is visiting the UK ahead of his party primaries. That was before PDP primaries. Details of his meeting was not made public. Details of his meeting was not made public. Obi is having a secret meeting with British. The secret meeting is not different from what you have just heard about AZIKIWE. That is all what it's all about. If Obi is sincere, let him come and tell you what is the content on the topic of discussion with the British government. As you are watching this broadcast, I want us to hit the like button and let us see 2,000 immediately so that other people will join us, because we still have a little bit time to spend here. Take your few seconds and hit the like button. Let us see 2,000. Very important. Very important. Today, you have just, seen the reason we are not going to allow election in Biafra land, not P2B. The reason we are going to fight anybody coming to do election in Biafra land come 2023. We will not allow it. It is going to be a grave mistake. It is going to be a grave mistake. The mistake will be worse than AZIKIWE mistake. So, the topic of today's broadcast is that we will never allow what Zik did to repeat itself in P2B. We can never, ever allow it. So any day, anybody, be it Zik, be it Obi, be it Tinubu, be it Atiku, call for mega rally, we are going to order sit at home, and Biafra will obey us. I want you people to understand that the game have just started. So, and we have trained you to be able to, resist, like those who will come to tempt you, every temptation. You have been trained for the past 1 year how to resist temptation, how to sit at home, because it is going to be one of the big tools we are going to use to get Biafra next year. Okay? As the political activities is starting very soon, I want Biafrans to understand that as these political activities is starting very soon, you will be ready to also start your own activity of civil disobedience, because we are going to match them, bomber to bomber. Any day political activity is coming in any part of Biafra, will be sit at home. This particular campaign period will be very, very interesting. Do not say we didn't tell you, because the time has come. You are going to make sacrifice. The sacrifice is that your businesses will be closed. The sacrifice is that you will not go to work. The sacrifice is that you are going to sit at home. And we don't have much time to do that sit at home and other civil disobedience that will follow. We have from now to February to make this magic. I believe it is not too much. We have suffered and paid price of one Nigeria for more than 50 years. Millions of Biafra has been killed. Millions of Biafra have died. And people continue to die for one Nigeria. And for you to sit at home and follow the civil disobedience order is not too much for your freedom to come. That is why this coming month will be very, very important. Because the activity, once the political activity start, we will activate every arsenal to make Biafra come.